Hello and welcome back, my friends, to a brand new episode of the British Accent Podcast. This is Robert. In this episode we will reflect on the most exciting things that happened last month, and then we explore a bigger topic that helps you grow your language, your knowledge, and your thinking. So, welcome to our July monthly special. In today's episode, we'll start by traveling across the globe. We'll share 6 short stories from June 2025. Stories of leadership, technology, sports, space, and culture. Then, in the second half of the episode, we'll slow things down and talk about something we all love. Music. We'll ask, why do we love music so much? How does it affect our minds, our mood, and our learning? As always, we'll finish the episode with Cinema Talks, a quote in our section Words of Wisdom, a look at scientific breakthroughs in science of the month. So, grab your headphones, find a comfy place to sit, and let's begin. This is the British Accent Podcast. Let's begin our journey around the world with a look at one of the biggest stories in global politics this June. In South Africa, a powerful moment of history was made. For the first time in decades, the country's national elections led to a coalition government between longtime rivals. The African National Congress, which has ruled since the end of apartheid, lost its majority. This opened the door for a new political partnership, a mix of experienced leaders and fresh voices, working together to build a new chapter for the country. This shift brought a sense of hope to many South Africans, especially younger voters, who want to see real changes in education, jobs, and infrastructure. It also reminded the world that democracy is not just about winning elections. It's about listening, adapting, and working together. It's still early, and challenges will come, but for now, the message from South Africa is clear: change is possible, and it can begin with the power of dialogue and unity. Now let's turn to the world of technology and innovation. In June, something incredible happened in India. A group of young engineers and scientists from Bangalore successfully launched their own low-cost satellite into space using a rocket they designed themselves. This wasn't a government mission. It was done by a private startup, with a small team, limited funding, and a lot of passion. Their goal? To make space more accessible and affordable for schools, researchers, and developing countries. And they did it. The satellite is now orbiting the Earth, gathering data on climate, weather, and pollution levels. It will help students across India and maybe around the world learn more about our planet using real data from space. This moment shows us that innovation doesn't always come from billion-dollar companies. Sometimes, the biggest ideas come from small teams who believe in making things better for everyone. It's an exciting time for technology, and a reminder that young minds are shaping the future right now. In June, we witnessed another big step in space exploration. And this one came with a message for planet Earth. NASA and the European Space Agency jointly launched a new satellite mission called OceanGuard. Its purpose is to monitor rising sea levels and the melting of polar ice in real time. What makes OceanGuard special is its incredible accuracy. It can measure changes in the ocean's height to the thickness of a coin from 800 kilometers above the Earth. But this mission isn't just about numbers. It's about protecting communities, especially small island nations and coastal cities that face growing threats from climate change. Leaders from countries like Tuvalu and the Maldives spoke at the satellite's launch, saying that this technology is not just helpful, it's life-saving. With OceanGuard, scientists can now track dangerous trends faster and warn governments before disaster strikes. It's one of those powerful moments when space meets Earth and reminds us that science is not far away, but deeply connected to our daily lives. Now, let's talk about something that united millions of people: sports. In June, the world turned its eyes to Germany, where the 2025 Women's European Football Championship took place. But the biggest story wasn't just who won. It was the story of Albania. A team that had never qualified before, and was considered the underdog of the tournament. They didn't win the championship, but they won the hearts of fans everywhere. Why? Because they played with joy, with courage, and with something even stronger than skill. Pure determination. In their second match, they came back from being 3-0 down to tie the game in the final minutes. It felt like a victory. And for many Albanian fans watching at home, it was a moment of national pride. Sports always give us more than just scores. They give us emotion. They give us stories of teamwork, resilience, and what it means to never give up. And Albania's team reminded us all that sometimes, showing up and trying your best can be the most powerful win of all. June also brought a moment of celebration for culture and creativity, this time from South Korea. A new museum opened in the heart of Seoul, and it's not like any traditional museum you've seen. It's called the Digital Dreams Gallery. And it's a place where art meets technology. Here, visitors walk through massive interactive rooms, filled with moving images, music, and lights. They don't just look at the art. They become part of it. Each room responds to people's movements. One room creates waves of color when you walk. Another changes its rhythm depending on your heartbeat. It's a full sensory experience, mixing modern Korean art with digital innovation. This space quickly became a hit on social media, but more importantly, it became a symbol of how young artists in Asia are shaping a new kind of global creativity. One that is playful, emotional, and deeply personal. It reminds us that culture is not stuck in the past. It grows, evolves, and speaks a new language, the language of experience. To close our journey around the world this month, I want to share a story that's not about technology or politics, but about kindness. In Brazil, a viral video captured a beautiful moment between a teenage boy and an elderly man at a bus stop in São Paulo. It was raining heavily. The older man was sitting alone, completely soaked. His umbrella had broken in the wind. The boy, no older than 15, took off his school jacket and gently placed it over the man's shoulders, then stood with him, holding his own umbrella until the bus came. He didn't know someone was filming. He didn't do it for views or likes. He just did it because it was the right thing to do. When the video was shared, millions of Brazilians reposted it, calling the boy a young hero and a reminder of humanity. Sometimes, what moves the world forward is not science or success, but simple human compassion. This story reminds us that no matter how advanced we become, kindness never goes out of style. And maybe that's the most powerful headline of all. Now let's start with our topic. Music. Music has been part of human life for thousands of years. It's older than writing, older than farming, older than many of the tools we use today. But have you ever wondered why we love music so much? It doesn't feed us. It doesn't keep us warm. And yet, it's everywhere. In every culture, every country, every community. The answer lies deep inside the brain. When we hear music, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. That's the same chemical we get when we eat chocolate, fall in love, or receive a reward. Music makes us feel good. It lifts our mood. It helps us remember special moments. It connects us to people, even strangers. You don't have to speak someone's language to enjoy their music. A sad song in Korean. A wedding dance in Nigeria. A flute from the Andes. You might not understand the words, but you feel the emotion. Music also helps us express what we can't always say. When we feel heartbreak, joy, hope, fear, music gives those feelings a voice. And sometimes, music says what words simply can't. Scientists also believe that music played a big role in helping early humans connect with each other, dancing, singing, and drumming around a fire. Helped build trust, friendship, and unity. So why do we love music? Because it speaks to something deep and ancient in us. It's more than just sound. It's emotion, memory, and connection. And that's something truly beautiful. Let's take a closer look at what happens inside your brain. When you listen to music, it's actually pretty amazing. Music doesn't just touch one part of your brain. It lights up many areas all at once. When you hear a rhythm, your motor cortex gets involved. That's the part that helps you move. That's why your foot starts tapping. Or your head nods without you even thinking about it. When you listen to lyrics, your language center becomes active. It tries to understand the words, the story, the meaning. The amygdala, which is responsible for emotion, responds to the feelings in the music. That's why a sad melody can make you cry, and an upbeat song can make you feel full of energy. Even your memory centers join the party. Ever heard a song and suddenly remembered a moment from years ago? That's your hippocampus at work. Some scientists say that music is like a workout for the brain, because it activates so many systems at the same time. And this is true not only when we listen to music, but even more when we play it. Musicians have been shown to have stronger connections between the two sides of the brain. Learning an instrument can improve memory, coordination, and even language skills. And here's something fascinating: people with Alzheimer's disease can sometimes still sing along to songs they loved, even when they've forgotten names and faces. Music seems to stay when everything else fades. That's how deeply it's wired into us. Music is not just entertainment. It's a kind of neural magic that touches almost every part of who we are. Music is powerful, not just for entertainment, but for healing, growth, and even transformation. Let's talk about how music helps people in difficult times. In hospitals around the world, music therapy is being used to help patients recover. People who are dealing with pain, stress, or anxiety can feel calmer and more relaxed just by listening to gentle music. For children with autism, music can be a way to communicate when words are hard to find. It helps them express emotions and connect with others. Even people who are recovering from strokes can improve their speech and movement through rhythm and sound. There are stories of soldiers returning from war with trauma, unable to speak about what they've seen, but slowly healing through playing music, writing songs, or simply listening. Music can help us grieve. It gives us comfort when we lose someone. A slow piano piece, a soft vocal melody. These can feel like a friend sitting beside us in silence. And music can bring hope. In movements for justice and freedom, people have always sung together. From protest marches to peace concerts, music becomes the voice of a generation. It gives courage. It gives unity. It says, "You're not alone." Even in prisons, music programs help inmates reconnect with their emotions and rebuild their identity. And in schools, music gives students a safe way to express themselves, especially those who struggle in other areas. So, whether it's physical, emotional, or social, music is not just a sound. It's a kind of medicine. One that can change lives, note by note. There was a time when hearing music meant going to a concert or gathering around a piano at home. But today, music is just one tap away. Technology has completely transformed how we find, listen to, and share music. Let's start with the obvious. Streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube have made it possible to carry millions of songs in our pockets. You don't need a CD collection. You just need internet and a pair of headphones. With algorithms, apps can now suggest music based on your mood, your location, or the time of day. It's like having a personal DJ. Who knows exactly what you need? But it's not just about listening. Technology has changed how music is made too. Today, someone with a laptop and a microphone can create an entire album from their bedroom. They don't need a big studio or a record label. They can record, mix, and share their work with people around the world in minutes. Social media plays a huge role too. A short video on TikTok can make a song go viral overnight. Some artists became famous just because one of their songs was used in a dance trend. Technology also lets musicians and fans connect directly. Artists post behind-the-scenes moments. Fans share covers, remixes, and reactions. There's a conversation happening, not just a performance. And there's more: live-streamed concerts, virtual reality music experiences, AI-generated songs. The way we experience music keeps evolving. Of course, some people miss the old days of vinyl records and cassette tapes. And that's okay too. There's something special about holding music in your hands. That's why vinyl is making a comeback. But whether it's old school or digital, one thing is clear: technology hasn't taken the soul out of music. It's just given us more ways to explore it. So, where is music heading? What will it look like, or sound like, in 10, 20, or even 50 years? The truth is, music has always changed with time. From stone instruments to symphonies, from vinyl to voice-controlled playlists. Each generation adds something new. And the future? It's already starting to take shape. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. AI can now compose music. It can learn a style, like jazz or classical, and create brand new pieces in seconds. Some tools even allow people with no music background to type in a mood or idea and instantly generate a melody. But does that mean AI will replace human musicians? Probably not. Because music is more than notes and rhythm. It's emotion. It's story. It's the voice of real people expressing real feelings. AI might help us create, but it won't replace the human heart behind the song. Then there's virtual and augmented reality. Imagine putting on a VR headset and attending a live concert on another continent. Or stepping into a 3D music video, where you're part of the performance. This is becoming possible. Music is also becoming more interactive. You might listen to a song that changes depending on your location or your heartbeat. Apps are exploring how music can adapt to your personal experience in real time. And the way artists share their work? It's no longer controlled by big companies. Independent musicians can find their audience directly, from anywhere in the world. Maybe in the future, we'll have songs written by AI and humans together. Maybe we'll attend concerts in space-themed virtual arenas. Or maybe we'll just sit in our kitchens, humming along to a tune. That reminds us we're not alone. Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain: music will always find a way to be part of our lives. It will grow. It will change. And it will keep bringing people together. Note by note, beat by beat.
Cinema Talks?
Let's dive into Cinema Talks, our movie section where we explore a recent release from the past month. And for July's first episode, I've chosen a film that action fans have been waiting for. Ballerina, released on June 6, 2025. Now, if you're a fan of the John Wick universe, this movie will feel both familiar and refreshingly new. Ballerina is a spin-off set in the same gritty world of assassins, codes, and high-stakes drama, but this time, we follow a female lead, played by the brilliant Ana de Armas. She portrays a young assassin who was trained in the same ballet academy we briefly saw in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. After her family is murdered, she sets off on a path of revenge, and what follows is a series of intense, stylish, and beautifully choreographed fight scenes. The direction is tight, the action sequences are top-notch. Exactly what you'd expect from a John Wick spin-off. And yet it adds its own emotional layer. The story explores pain, identity, and the price of vengeance, which makes it more than just an action thriller. And yes, you'll be excited to hear that Keanu Reeves appears in the film as well, bringing John Wick back to the screen, even if just briefly. It adds continuity and fan satisfaction. I loved how the film balanced elegance and violence, grace and brutality. Ana de Armas truly holds her own as a new face in the franchise, and possibly one of the most compelling ones so far. If you enjoy strong female leads, revenge-driven plots, and beautifully shot action, Ballerina is worth your time.
Words of wisdom.
Alright, it's time for one of my favorite segments in every episode. Words of wisdom. This is where we share a quote that inspires us, challenges our thinking, or just gives us a fresh perspective on life. Today's quote is by James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Let's think about that for a moment. Many of us set big goals. We want to get fit, learn a language, start a business. But often, we focus so much on the goal itself that we forget what really determines our success: the daily habits, the small steps, the systems we build. James Clear is saying that your success isn't about motivation or ambition alone. It's about the structure you create around your goals. If your system supports your goal, you're much more likely to reach it, almost automatically. Let me give you an example. If your goal is to read more, you can set a goal of reading 20 books this year. But if you don't build a system, like reading 10 pages every night before bed, that goal will just stay a dream. So maybe the question we need to ask ourselves is, what systems are we building today that support the kind of future we want tomorrow? That's something I'll be thinking about this week. And I hope you will too.
Curious Minds. The Science Corner.
In today's Science Corner, we're going to talk about something amazing that happened in June 2025. It's about a big step forward in the search for clean energy. And it happened at a place called ITER in southern France. ITER stands for the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. It's a huge project where scientists from around the world are trying to recreate the same kind of energy the sun makes here on Earth. This process is called nuclear fusion, and if we succeed, it could give us a source of energy that is clean, safe, and nearly unlimited. Now in June, something really important happened. China delivered a very powerful magnetic system to the ITER site. This system is made of 31 huge parts, and its job is to help control the superhot gas, called plasma, inside the reactor. Plasma can reach temperatures hotter than the sun, so it has to be held in place using very strong magnets, otherwise, it would burn through everything. These magnets are called superconducting magnets, and the system from China will help them work the way they're supposed to. Why is this so exciting? Because if the fusion reactor works, it could create more energy than it uses, something that has never been done before. Also, fusion energy is much safer than regular nuclear power. It doesn't create dangerous long-lasting waste, and it doesn't release greenhouse gases like burning coal or gas does. So this delivery is more than just some big machine parts. It's a real sign that we're getting closer to clean and endless energy. Let's keep watching ITER in the coming months. We might be witnessing the start of a new era in energy. And with that, we come to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me as we explored the world of Around the World in June 2025, discussed our cinema talks, and dived into the latest breakthroughs in science. I hope you found something inspiring or eye-opening in today's discussions. Before I go, I just want to remind you to leave any questions, comments, or feedback in the comments section below. Your thoughts mean a lot to us, and we love hearing from our listeners. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, like the episode, and share it with anyone who might enjoy the conversation. Looking forward to catching up with you all in the next episode. Until then, keep exploring, keep growing, and most importantly, keep being curious. Take care, and see you next time.